And we are live.
Good morning, mamas. Hey. Hi, everybody. I am OG Mamacita. That is officially geriatric for those outside of the know.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And my partner in crime is Miss Mj Fisher over there. Hello, Virgin.
Hey.
And today we have with us Miss Wendy Kim. Hey, mama.
Hi, glad to be here.
Good morning. So today is Thursday. That's why we're here. Otherwise, we would be elsewhere, of course. And today on the show, like I said, we have Wendy Kim, and she is just, so everybody knows, our husbands work together. So let's just get that out in the open so there isn't any... And they make a really damn good couple. They went to an event.
That picture, you can show everybody how cute they are together.
Yeah, I wish I could pull it up right now, but they went to some gala the last week or a couple of weeks ago, and they took a picture, and everyone treated them apparently at the event like they were a couple, so I just thought that was hilarious. And they look really cute together, so shout out to the boys this morning. Hey.
Did they have a good time?
Yeah. I know where your brain was going there.
I'm trying to be not vulgar.
We're trying to be a little PG today. So, but I know where your brain was going.
Can you see this?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
Even their pose is really cute.
Matt was calling it their prom picture.
Tell him that he's smiling way too much. Oh, here's Channing Tatum. Here's Channing Tatum bringing my coffee. Thanks, Channing.
Okay.
Sorry, that's my husband. I have a thing for Channing Tatum. Do you guys? Is it okay for you to like a somebody famous?
A celebrity?
Yeah.
It is.
We haven't really. I don't have anyone. Truck.
Check out Channing Tatum.
Yes, I got that movie Jupiter Ascending because he was in it, and I was very disappointed because they did like prosthetic makeup and stuff on him, and just not that into elves. So I was a little disappointed because he's a looker.
Oh.
He's a looker. But so this is how we start our morning chat. Yeah, we just kind of do nothing in particular, have our coffee and so forth.
Okay, so Wendy, when we
Channing's now in my home, and he virtually was able to come over here and give me my coffee too. So.
Yay! Awesome. Everybody should have a Channing Tatum bringing them.
Yes, exactly.
So, Wendy, tell us, just like, we know you have 2 kids, but like, what are their ages, and just a little bit more about you, real quick.
Yeah, so I have a 5-year-old daughter named Audrey and a 7-year-old son named Ethan, and I homeschool them part-time, and they're actually in their charter school right now, which is why it's so quiet over here. You gotta just enjoy and savor these moments of quiet. But yeah, so I love having that opportunity to have them in the charter school a few days a week, but also being able to work with them one-on-one in their education.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said 5, and what was your son?
7.
7. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, awesome. Yay.
My son is right here right now and demanding attention, so I apologize.
No worries.
I understand that.
Hey, you're giving him the world.
Exactly.
Oh, such a good mom. Okay, awesome. So, we do have a lot to cover for you. So if you, I think maybe we should just kind of get right into it. We're going to talk a lot about your website, Your Dream Realized. And for those of you who are watching us, because we do have lots of viewers live right now, so hello.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for watching Live with Mama Try.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and if you're watching through Google Plus, you'll be able to see that we've showcased a few things there, one being Wendy's website, and a few more things below that, what we're going to talk about today. So you'll be able to click right over to these links if you want to, right from there. But leave us a comment under our YouTube video if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching us through Google Plus, you can hit the chat right there, like Q&A chat, and I'll bring it up. And if you guys have any comments or questions, let us know.
Yay! So we keep talking about your website, Wendy, but as if everybody knew what we were talking about. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your company and your website?
Okay, well, can I kind of flip the script on you a little bit and start with my story? Because
Absolutely.
I think that really will encapsulate kind of everything I'm about. But, so basically,
yeah.
Sorry? Oh, okay.
I was just going to say, we have the lower third set here.
Okay. So I had, throughout my life, been absolutely horrible with money, which is highly ironic. And I call myself like a recovering moneyaholic. The skills that my parents taught me about managing money were, if you whine and nag hard enough, then you can actually get more money. So that was the skill, the great money skills that I learned growing up. And unfortunately, that didn't serve me very well once mommy and daddy were not willing to give me any money once I actually graduated from college and had my own job. But so anyway, I was kind of bumbling along, living paycheck to paycheck, managing okay because I was just renting, didn't have a lot of expenses. But fast forward, and then I got into this circle, and I don't know if you guys remember during the bubble, the real estate bubble, all of our friends were buying homes, and everyone was like, you need to buy a home now, or you're going to lose out, and the prices are going to keep going. And so we're like, okay, so this is 2006, and we bought a condo, and shortly thereafter, we had the recession. And so this condo was completely underwater. And then we had the brilliant idea, once we had our second child, of taking on an additional mortgage. Because we were like, oh, okay, why not? Like, we can qualify for it. So that means that we should be able to afford this, right? So here we are with 2 mortgages. We're renting out the condo. We're losing about $1,000 a day. It's completely underwater. And then we ended up short selling the condo. We were making really good money, but still not saving anything. I had received money from my mom. We were burning through that. We both had really good jobs, but we were always like, where is the money going? And basically, I was just stressed every night. I was in front of my computer, and I was just completely overwhelmed. So hopefully I'm not taking too long here with my story.
And
but anyway,
your story sounds a lot like I'm sure a lot of people's, and a little bit like mine too, except I didn't have any kids when I bought my place a long time ago.
Yeah, I think a lot of people got, and especially with the bubble, got into those situations. But basically, I ended up feeling completely overwhelmed. I was worried about how we were going to sustain our lifestyle. I didn't feel like we could cut anything, and I just didn't know what to do. So my friend turned me on to Dave Ramsey, who's a financial guru, and I started taking some of his classes, and completely changed my mindset, completely changed my lifestyle, and it was almost like a spiritual kind of rebirth, in terms of what was important in my life. So yeah, we had this whole like major overhaul financially in our life, and I just became so passionate about it, and passionate about um, helping people get control of their finances and using money as a tool to create the life that they want, that I ended up going into money coaching. So that's kind of a summary of why I got into this. I don't know if this actually answered your specific question, but that I think that kind of helps describe at least how I got into this.
And what did you do prior to this? And this is your own company, right? This is not someone else's.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
What did you do before?
So I was working in corporate management for 15 years for Fortune 500 companies, and I think I loved it, and I was climbing the corporate ladder. And when I was in my 20s, I thought, okay, I want to be an executive, and that was my aspiration. And then this life kind of was born into my life. So I had my son, and my world completely changed. And I decided I didn't want to be traveling all the time. I didn't want to be working 60 hours a week. I wanted to have time with my son, and I was able to arrange a part-time schedule, but I still felt like I didn't have a lot of time with my son. And after a while, I just actually got really burnt out on the corporate lifestyle.
Yeah.
But because of my financial situation, I was dependent on the paycheck.
Right.
Until obviously I went through the financial metamorphosis.
And how old were your kids when you made this change?
So I would say it was about 3 years ago. 2.5 to 3 years ago. And so what I had been doing was saving an emergency fund. So I decided, okay, I want to do what I'm passionate about. I want to have more time with my children. And to me, that meant having this business. Right. So what I had to do was get out of debt and get emergency savings in place. So what ended up happening is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So what ended up happening actually is my son also started having some problems in school. And he actually was recently diagnosed with special needs. And the director at his school was strongly suggesting that I at least homeschool him part-time. So that I had been running my business kind of on the side. I had the emergency savings in place. So it was perfect because I knew I needed to be there and have more time with my son, and focusing on the business full time would give me the flexibility I needed to be there to help my family and also pursue my passion.
So OG,
yeah,
you and I know a ton of mamas that work out of the house and would love to be home with their kids. And and I personally know a lot of mamas who have special needs children, and this is like you, Wendy. They have to, it's strongly suggested that they take a different route as far as schooling. Take a different route. Yeah. So I mean, this is where this all intertwines with your passion, for helping out other mamas, because, like I just said, we know mamas who could, that are in this situation, but haven't done what you're doing. So
So I'm kind of I totally agree with you ladies, because, you know, so many, it really is a luxury to be able to stay home with your child, just because of the exorbitant price of childcare for a lot of families. That just isn't an option. So bringing themselves down from 2 incomes to 1, so that they can accommodate the needs of their children, it's necessary, because, you know, making the choice to put your child in daycare and having some money left over if possible really isn't a choice for a lot of people.
Right.
But I do want to get down to the practicalities and just ask you how.
Right.
How
Right.
did you get out of debt and build up an emergency fund when you had such a background in frivolous spending? So
Right.
that's my major question.
That's a great question. So it comes down to, and again, this is why the name of my company is Your Dream Realized versus Save More Money. If someone has a strong enough why and a strong enough dream and motivation, they can change their money habits. So for me, being able to have my own business, being able to be there for my children was extremely motivating. I was willing to cut back on the Starbucks, cut back on Amazon was seriously my kryptonite. Like that was my retail therapy. Like at night, I would go on Amazon and start reading reviews and putting stuff in my cart and then hit that one-click button. But for me, if I could curb those habits or impulses and actually have enough money so that we were pay off our debt, have the emergency savings so I could start my own business, that was extremely motivating. So for me, what I do with clients is it's not just about paying off debt. It's not just about saving more money. It's what is your dream? What is your why? Like how badly, what is something that you want badly that would actually be more important to you than immediately gratifying yourself by clicking on the one-click button at Amazon? Yeah. So that's a huge part of it. But I also have a process that I work on with them, because most people are really overwhelmed because they're trying to pay off debt, they're trying to save money, they're trying to put money in retirement, and they're trying to save for college.
So and they're trying to pay rent and buy groceries and clothing and gas.
Exactly. Yeah, and they have so many demands financially that they don't know where to prioritize. And so what I do with them is figure out, okay, what are your goals? What are your dreams? But then also, what's your financial situation and where do we need to prioritize? So in a lot of cases, I will look through a person's budget. Most people become very conditioned to their budget and conditioned to their spending, so they can't see any way that they can cut their budget. Yeah. Because they're so used to spending things in this way, they don't realize actually there's other options, like practically speaking, so cable. A lot of times I'll look at how much people are spending on cable, and it's literally hundreds of dollars. Yeah. Whereas if they did Amazon Prime or if they did Netflix, they could literally save hundreds of dollars. But they don't really think, and then I get down to the question, and then sometimes they'll hem and haw about cutting that. But then it's like, okay, do you want to stay home with your children? Is that something you'd be willing to sacrifice so you can have more time with your children? And in most cases, the answer would be yes. They're not getting enough satisfaction from having this cable to justify that.
I've talked to a lot of people along the way of just being a mom about, the fact that they want to stay home. And like you said, OG, it's not an option. But that to me is like, that's not actually like the truth. Because it is an option to, cut these certain things. Like, for me, clothing was not a big deal. I just didn't, I'm not that type of a person. So I think that's where you come in too, Wendy. You kind of get into the nitty gritty of like, what type of a person are you? What makes you happy? I'm not going to say, let's take this all away, but really sitting down and thinking about like, what can I do without, so that for me to stay home, and for me staying home, and then also having, eating certain foods, those are really important things. So we had to make a lot of cuts in order to make that happen, but we did.
See, I think I always revert to that family that has both parents working minimum wage jobs. So I used to tutor for the city school district, and they would send me out to these homes, and most of them were, because my focus was bilingual education, so I would go out to a lot of these immigrant homes, and you see these families that have both parents working minimum jobs. The eldest kid is doing whatever, recycling, collecting cans, whatever they can to help, and they don't have cable, and they don't have any of the luxuries that we consider everyday items. And so they're the ones that I'm always thinking of when it comes to these plans for how to save money or how to realize your financial dream. Because they really don't have places to cut. And I guess it comes back to what you were saying, that it just takes some fresh eyes to see that there really are other options, other places where they can either cut or revert funds, divert funds.
Well, one of the things I work on with my clients, oh, sorry, did I?
No, it's okay, go ahead.
Okay. The freezing thing is kind of throwing me off, but basically, a lot of times there are opportunities for people to also increase their income. So I'm not looking only at how they can cut. I'm also looking at, okay, how can you actually, based off of your skill set, actually increase your income? And in a lot of cases, people, they might have, maybe they had a career in one area and they think that is the only way that I can make money. But there are, especially now, as you know, I mean, there are a lot of online ways to make money. You can have especially moms, and this is what I'm doing, you can have your own business. Like in my case, I work a lot with clients in the evenings on weekends. And so based on their skills and their situation, there may be ways that they can increase their income that they're not thinking about, just because a lot of times as women, I think we undervalue our skills and we undervalue what we have to offer. But in reality, a lot of times it's having someone encourage you and provide some motivation. And that's what I do. A lot of what I'm doing is providing accountability and courage and extra motivation so that they can either cut their expenses and follow through, or figure out ways to actually increase their income.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think my comment was more towards MJ and the idea that some people, do have the choice, because for some people they just simply don't have the choice. Both parents have to work in order to pay rent.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I'm really excited.
I think that I definitely think that is is out there, and I know people though that are on one income, and that the dad is working, and it's he's not doing a corporate job where he gets a salary. He's actually working for minimum wage plus tips kind of job, you know, and
Yeah.
I know families that make that work and you know, actually, uh, you know, end up having like a spending like that's the thing for me. It was like where it was moving my money around. Like we had the money, but we needed to know where we wanted it to go, and that I think, you know, for everybody individually, it's a personal decision what you want to spend your money on.
Yeah.
One of the things, Wendy, you wanted to hit too was that money equals emotions, and I wanted you to definitely talk about that and about behavior versus math, because I think that, like you said, you know, you would spend money on Amazon, or you know, like for me, I wasn't even before kids. Like the most that I would spend would be going to Dave Matthews Band concerts. Like I would spend tons of money to do that. But I didn't buy purses, I didn't buy clothes, I didn't buy, you know, those type of
Yeah.
things. So, you know, I don't know if you want to just elaborate on that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think when people think about money, they think about it being just about, and I mean, in some cases, some people just think, oh, it's just math, you know, but I blog about this. In my opinion, money has very little to do with math, and managing your money is about um, people's emotions and behavior. And when we're talking about actually managing money and getting on a path of what I call financial freedom, we're talking about, okay, how can you change your behavior? In my case, and in many of the cases of clients of mine, they spend when they're feeling a certain way, when they're feeling stressed, when they're feeling tired, when they're feeling overwhelmed, that's when they spend. And so, and a lot of times this behavior has been ingrained for decades. and so
Yeah.
to and so to just read an article that talks about cutting out Starbucks or something like that, that's not going to really help this person. This person needs tools in how to actually change their behavior, because habits are about not thinking. So when you perform a habit, you're not actually thinking. Your brain is an autopilot. And so what we're trying to do is retrain your behavior and your habits so that you're actually using the prefrontal cortex to actually logically think through what you're doing. So yeah, it's true. Like in my case, I was focused on buying trinkets here and there that gave me comfort. But I had to actually start thinking about what do I want to use my money for? Do I want to have a lifestyle where I have time with my family, where I can actually meet my son's needs? And so when we're trying to do that, I'll offer suggestions. So for instance, just a practical suggestion, I have a client who's having a really hard time saying no to herself, because she's not used to saying no to herself. She's been saying yes to herself through the past several decades. So what I challenged her to do, I had this just say no challenge. So I don't know if you guys are thinking of Nancy Reagan when you hear that, but
yes.
I challenged her to say no to one thing a day. And so I'm also doing this challenge for myself. So maybe it's, and I actually encourage her to write down the thing that she said no to. And when I did this for a few days, I noticed it was always related to caffeine. A lot of times it was related to caffeine or craving carne asada fries when I was either tired or hungry or stressed.
Now I want carne asada fries.
I know.
You might have to say no to that. That might be your one no for the day. So in any case, you can save calories on this plan too. But just training herself to say no that one time a day built up that muscle so that
Right.
she actually could start saying no to other things as well. But if I was to tell her, say no to 5 things a day, that would completely overwhelm her.
Yeah.
So being able to just focus on that one thing helped change her behavior. So those are the kinds of things that and of course each person is different. Each person is motivated in a different way. Some things work better with certain personalities. And so it's working with that person and what their strengths are to modify that behavior so they can achieve their goals.
I think it's really great to that your company, like, we're talking about a couple different lifestyles here. A lifestyle where people actually have money but need to put it in a certain place, and people that maybe don't have enough money, but you're able to help them and kind of tap into like what could make you more money. Because
Right.
I think that one of the things that, as moms, we're trying to teach our kids constantly, you can do anything. You can do anything you want, as long as you put your mind to it, if you're passionate about it, whatever. So we've got to have that for ourselves too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
So,
even get me started on that fairy tale. We'll have to just talk about that for another show.
you're always the opposite. See, I told you, Wendy, we're yin yang, I'm
Yeah,
like, you can
that's
do
perfect.
anything. And she's like, no, not
No,
really.
no, that's a fairy tale. Get me a unicorn
He,
and I'll explain it.
he
But
needs
how do you,
the he needs the Republican debates when we have you two, right?
I will always be optimistic and positive and always, because I don't know, like The Secret, what you
Yes.
think about, you can bring about. Like when
Yeah.
I saw that movie a long time ago, I was like, oh my God, thank you. I'm not so crazy. Like I really, like things would happen though in my life, and they still do. When I think about them and then they happen, I'm just like, oh my God, your mind is very powerful.
Oh, I agree completely. It's just for myself personally, I feel like we just need to save that topic for another show because we could go on forever with that. But I do want to talk about, Wendy, about you coming out to the Lindsay Project
Oh yeah.
next month. I'm super excited about that.
Yes. So one of the things that I'm going to talk about at the Lindsay Project is debt. People, I think one of the biggest hindrances to building wealth is debt. And so, which is contrary to what any advertisement in our culture would have you believe. But especially when you were talking, and I have a passion for helping people who don't have as many opportunities as I know I grew up with. So the problem is a lot of these people are big targets for companies trying to, whether it's payday loans or rent to own or crazy financing where you're paying a ridiculous interest rate. And it's funny because I have clients who are making great money and have serious debt. But then you look at these people who have very little money. And if they get into a debt situation, it
It's
becomes
catastrophic.
it totally is. It's just completely untenable in a lot of ways. So one of my passions is really helping people who don't have much money to not get into the debt cycle because it is so tempting and they are so targeted. And I was driving the other day and I was listening to this car commercial. And they were basically like, your credit sucks. That doesn't matter. Come down and we can offer you a car. And it's of course, if you're going through a hard time, it's tempting. Great, I get a new car. this is awesome. And little do they realize how they can be tens of thousands to like literally $100,000 in debt if they're not careful. And so that's something that I do want to talk to the women about when we meet.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that because, you know, for a few years I worked in financial planning when I was just finishing college. I was just an assistant in financial planning, but it really showed me a lot. It taught me a lot. Mainly the things that I came away with were compounding interest, understanding how interest works and what compounding interest means, debt to income ratio, all of that sort of thing. But I think that I know for sure that there are facets of our society that are targeted, the lower income and the military. Because, you know, and I would see these young couples that would come in, you know, with 3 kids, and one of the spouses was in the military. And, you know, they weren't officers, but they still had that stable income, but they would be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because they would have the RV, they had the jet skis, they had the 2 new cars, they had all of this stuff because of these lenders, these predatory lenders that would seek them out. So I'm really excited to talk to the girls at the Lindsay School about these things because I feel like they are just you know, just a tidbit or 2 of information that can really change your debt to income ratio, and that's huge. So I'm happy and I'm appreciative.
Yeah, and somebody like you, Wendy, I mean, you don't really seek out this type of information because who wants to make these type of changes, you know? But when you are presented with it, like, you know, the girls in the Lindsay School, a lot of them probably won't even realize, like, oh, crap, you know, like this is something that I actually need to put some attention towards. And I think just anybody, you know, like it really can benefit anybody because money equals choices, and if you want to have different choices, then you gotta make changes with your money. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You'll have a great time with the girls. They're awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Very cool.
Are we doing a giveaway?
Oh, you know, that was my bad. I take full, complete responsibility for dropping the ball on that one. So if
we can still do it.
We can still do it. So we'll go ahead and get that giveaway information out.
Okay.
And because we're extending the first 40 postpartum consultation giveaway from last week from Kara Cadwallader. That's it.
Cadwallader.
Thank you.
Yes, this is so important, you guys. Please, just I think that it's so crazy. Our society doesn't really get that postpartum needs to have attention. And
so in case you missed it, our giveaway from last week is an in-home consultation with Kara. Where she will come in, she and her little infant, her little boy, will come in and help you prep your home and your support system for that 4th trimester. So if you know anybody that is expecting, whether it's their 1st or their 13th, because I do know people who have 13 kids, have them enter this contest. Enter the contest for them. Enter the contest for yourself or give it away.
Totally. I want to enter, and for a bunch of my mama friends, I'm like tagging people saying, like, you guys need to enter this. Somebody's got to win this. This is like so awesome. I mean, and I think that, it's just something that we just don't focus on, and we need to. And that's, I think, one of our goals, like for Mama Tribe Network, for my show. I am like pushing self-care, postpartum, care. I'm pushing, the pregnancy loss. Like, we need to get this stuff out there. So
yes, It's the mama tribe. We have to help each other. We have to be the village that is needed for our children. So there's that. And then also, MJ, you wanted to talk about something else that is really near and dear to our heart, which has to do with support, and that's the Nursing in Public Task Force.
Yes, ma'am. So we are really privileged, I think, here in San Diego to have just so many lactation consultants, international board lactation consultants, and just, you know, we have all these people at our fingertips. And one of the things that we
at our
would
nipple
like...
tips.
Sorry. Good one. So Robin Kaplan, who is an amazing international board certified lactation consultant, and we actually hung out with her. One of our first Mama Tribe Presents hangouts was with her, and she was discussing the San Diego Nursing in Public Task Force and what they do. What they're doing right now, and if you're watching us on Google Plus, you'll be able to see in the showcase on the right side, just kind of scroll down a little bit. She blogged on her website, the San Diego Breastfeeding Center.com, about starting up the Nursing in Public Task Force website and what that's going to do as far as what she's doing is a Kickstarter. Sorry, I'm bad with words.
So check out the showcase on the Google Plus. Also check out our Facebook page and our Google Plus page. We'll have all of the information there and how you can start. You can help this Kickstarter so that there is a national resource everywhere in the country. Every woman in the country should have access to support for nursing in public situations, and it should not be an issue. So let's help by checking that out with the San Diego Breastfeeding, and the information is right there on MJ's lower third. And I have to say that we seem to have lost Wendy. I sent her a text and let her know that she froze.
Nope.
So hopefully she can...
She's fine on my side.
Really?
Oh, really? Oh, there you are. Okay. Yeah, no, weird. I see you frozen over here, and then, yeah, back to normal. So, yeah, see, I don't know. I won't discuss it any longer. You seem to be fine.
So with this Kickstarter, I brought up the website real quick. They have a really nice video explaining everything. Got the links to the blog, the links to the Kickstarter, and you know, they really want to be able to have this be national, have this website be able to be available in all of the different cities, in the different states, and everybody be able to have like a task force for any type of nursing in public problem. So, there we go. Here we are. So this project will pay for a web designer, content creators, materials, resources, photographers for the website, videographers. So, you know, she wants to make sure that this type of a website is available for everyone, you know, nationally. And it's unfortunate that it's a problem sometimes when you're nursing in public, but fortunately, then there's ways to kind of go about a harassment if you have one, and it's not necessarily, you know, going straight to a nurse in, you know, right. Giving that company a chance to educate their employees, or giving, you know, whatever it is, a chance to kind of take back.
Well, this is a diplomatic approach. This is always a diplomatic approach. That's the first step, the first instinct. So we need to make sure that we support Robin in this endeavor and share the knowledge.
Yes.
So check it out, please, everybody.
All right. So.
And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about really quickly was our After Dark series. the Mama Tribe Network After Dark series. And that's where MJ and I, yeah, we get to hang out with some experts and some moms after the kids have gone to bed. So we get to talk about some topics that may be a little taboo. And there usually is wine involved. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our shows, All Things Crunchy with MJ and mine, Mama Talks, check out our After Dark, Mama Tribe After Dark playlist on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
And I will be talking with Miss Gina Hoke of Canna Mama Clinic tomorrow night about the normalization of cannabis use, particularly in Colorado, where she is from. So that should be really interesting. And MJU will have Dr. G on coming up. Yes.
On November the 6th, I will have Nancy Tunley. She's a nutritional therapist. I think we're going to continue our Mama Fatigue hangout, because we did one and we talked about a lot, but we didn't cover everything. And I think that, you know, fatigue is a big one for Mama.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that should be after yours. We do it every Friday.
Every Friday. Yeah. So check those out. And that's all I got over here, chicas.
Oh, I went to a healing loss circle last night, and it was great. It was small, but I feel like it's like the beginning of something. You know, we're gonna try and do these things more often with the Tree of Life Birthing Center, which is friggin' gorgeous. Oh my gosh! If you don't want to birth in a hospital and you're not ready to have a home birth, you need to check out the Tree of Life Birthing Center. It is like, the rooms are like, to me, I love the beach, and they just have like these blues, and like just, it's all clean, and they're gorgeous tubs. Oh my gosh. Like,
you almost made me want to have another baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So, but yeah, we got together, a few mamas and myself, to talk about our pregnancy losses, and it's really, I think it's going to be something that will be really helpful for mamas out there who have experienced loss. So I'm really passionate about this. I mean, I've had miscarriages in the past, but the recent one that I've had was totally different. And so, you know, like I said earlier, it's something that we just need to talk about more, and we need to talk about there's things out there that can really help us heal.
Yeah.
And I want to talk more about, probably on my show, I will talk more about those things in detail. And it's an experience that's different for everybody. So that's why, you know, I just want to make sure that everyone's aware of these options, you know, and I feel like this healing circle is one of those options that hopefully we will get, there'll be more and more people at, you know, because the fact of the matter is that miscarriage happens a lot.
One out of every four.
Yeah, one out of every 4 women, you know. I mean, if we had one more here, it would be one of us, which it is. So.
Yep.
Well, all right, Mama.
I really appreciate you doing that, and you know, sharing the information, because that's one of those things that we need to help release the taboo that is choking it. So, I mean, wish you hadn't experienced it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we're putting it out there for the moms that need it, the moms and the dads, So
totally. And
so thank you.
Everyone needs support, especially with something like that. It's not easy, so you definitely need support. So, all right, Mama. So what are you doing after we get off the hangout today?
Well, apparently I am going to go hang out with my kid, because that's what I do. I don't know. Pretty much the day's open. Hopefully some kind of play date will pop up, and that's what I got going on. How about you girls?
How about you, Wendy?
I'm going to be having lunch with kind of a business associate. What I try and do is the days that the kids are in school, I try to have as many meetings and things as I can, so that the days that they're not, I can just focus on them.
Yeah, you situate your time so that it's best utilized. Smart.
Yeah.
Not
And you,
always, but I
MJ? All we can do is try.
exactly. Although I heard recently you should never use that word. Yes, I do. I do my best. How's that?
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. I am going to be hanging out with a mama friend, and we're going to have a little play date. And then I'm going to the DMV to renew my license.
Yay! Yay!
I've had an expired license since my birthday. I know. I'm like sad.
Oh my gosh, you lawbreaker.
I'm not going to the DMV and waiting 2 hours. I'm going to make an appointment, and I'm going to wait a month for that appointment. Hopefully nothing bad happens. So.
Oh, can I just mention
oh my gosh.
real quick?
What's that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, first of all, thank you guys so much for letting me participate on the show, and I love the format you guys have and how fun it is and organic. And thank you to all the mamas of Mama Tribe for listening to me. And I did want to extend an offer to the Mama Tribe mamas. If you would like a free one-hour consultation, please go ahead and contact me. My email is wendy@yourdreamrealized.com. So thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. And you know, it's a matter of us helping each other out. So I'm glad. And rock on, Mama.
I know, seriously, a free 1 hour? My God, can I use that?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think I need to use it too.
It's not a sales presentation. I basically just kind of look through your financials, give you some tips.
Yeah.
That if you like it and want to continue, great. But if you just want to go with that, that's great too. So,
yeah, I think I'm going to hit you up for that. Definitely.
I think anybody should, right? I mean, geez, you know, it's free. All right.
Okay, ladies. Well, have a great afternoon. And Wendy, we'll talk later because I'm definitely going to hit you up for that. And also for the details for the giveaway. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right. I'm going to hit the stop broadcast, but hang on the line, ladies, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace out, bitches.